is the summer house update, which is in Alphington. One of the person who commented gave me some really good feedback, but he didn't really know the story. I can't put the whole truth on because it wouldn't be correct, right? But the summer house is a local person who came to us, asked for help. It's a second-hand house. He bought summer house for £150. He's now up to £2,000 to try and stop it from being removed. And all I'm saying is, people are saying nobody's above the law. Nobody's saying about the law. We're just saying let this man live. He's doing no harm.
Hey, Neil, could I add to that? By the way, this is unrehearsed, guys. You know that. So forgive me if I say something wrong or incorrect, right?
Well,
but
you don't really care anyway, Rob.
I want the truth, okay? So this is something that the resident came to you and asked for help, right? So you're promoting this. Well, that's absolutely super. But
I'm not promoting it. I'm trying to get this man help because I just think it's a lot of money being spent, a lot of time, and there's issues which I know where you're going, Rob. You're going to fish for it, but I'm not going to go fishing. Somebody asked about a pothole and why is the pothole connected to the summer house. What I was trying to say is the person who made the complaint might have connections, and the pothole was repaired outside that person's house, but it wasn't repaired up the road. And that's all I can say because I can't prove it.
Neil, you know I'm a free thinker, okay? Now,
I think it was in the paper anyway.
I was not at potholes, okay? What I was trying to get at is this is a planning issue, isn't it, Neil?
Yeah, totally
Right?
a planning issue. Exeter City Council will not discuss planning issue whilst it's a live case, which I respect that. But we shouldn't even be in this position in my eyes. Now it has to go outside to another council in order for it to be resolved.
Yeah, can I say what I find frustrating about it was they want him to knock it down, but he could actually flatten that part of the garden and make it into a big car park, and they'd have no objection to that.
Yeah. Jacqueline, you don't really know the story, do you?
I know a bit of the story, and it's a wooden structure. It's a small shed.
Summer house.
A summer house. Summer house shed is still a small wooden structure, and if they've taken down one old structure and put up another one, which is wooden,
And second hand.
It's not going to last forever.
And you can't see it from the road.
If you can't see it from the road, I think this is getting pretty petty to pick on somebody with a wooden
What we'll
shed
do,
in their
Jackie,
garden.
because you're neutral at this, we're just going to play the spotlight version of it, and then I'm going to come back to you and see you as an independent
Ask
person.
your opinion.
Yeah, cool.
Spotlight to cloud over this summer house in an Exeter family garden. Planning officers say it has to go. A family in Exeter has been ordered to remove a summer house from their garden by council planning officials. Andrew Causley said he was baffled by the enforcement notice. The summer house was put in to replace a children's playhouse that was about the same size and, as Miles Davis reports, was in the same position for about 25 years.
You can't see it from here or here, but Exeter City Council has told the owner of this summer house to take it down because it doesn't fit in with the neighbourhood. Andrew Causley installed the summer house to replace a playhouse that had been there for more than 20 years.
When I get home from work, the only part of the garden that we still have in the sun is in the corner there. That's why the children's summer house was there for 25 years. That's why we replaced it with that. It's no bigger, it's no wider, it's no higher.
After a complaint was made to the council, Mr Causley applied for retrospective planning permission, but that was refused. And now the council has ordered him to remove the summer house and a second summer house in another part of the garden.
The bizarre thing is most of the road have had their gardens tarmacked over, which to me would be a lot uglier than this.
He's being supported by his county councillor.
This heavy-handed approach, the inconsistency and the lack of common sense, they're more interested in going against the people of Exeter than supporting the people of Exeter. If you look at this structure, it ain't going to last more than 10 years. They're harming nobody. All they want is to live a quiet life.
In the enforcement notice, Exeter City Council said the summer houses were out of character with the area. The council says it can't comment further as it's a live case. Miles Davis, BBC Spotlight, Exeter.
Okay, the reason I keep bringing this up is I just think it's ridiculous. As he said, he could drop that garden, drop the wall, he could pave it all, put 3 or 4, 6 cars in there, and that beautiful garden, they wouldn't have a complaint. You know, it's got birds, it's got squirrels, they keep the trees tall, and it is in immaculate condition. And if you can have time, come and cut my grass, will you? Jacqueline, what's your
Cloud
opinion?
over this summer house in an Exeter family
Jacqueline?
garden.
Yeah,
Planning
do you
officers
know
say
what? I really cannot believe it. That what's out of character for the area? What's that supposed to mean? I mean, it's a small wooden summer house. It's not going out onto the highways. You can't see it. It actually looks as if it was less high than the old structure that was there. It makes me wonder why we actually buy our own properties. At the end of the day, good fences make good neighbours, supposedly. Somebody must have complained, surely, for the council to have got involved in this in the first place.
I'm not going down that road.
I could.
No, it's ridiculous.
Can I add to that, Jax? Neil, tell me if I'm incorrect, but so this is a planning issue, right?
It's a planning issue, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And isn't there a Labour councillor from Alphington that sits on the planning committee at Exeter City Council?
No, there
yeah,
was one
that's
who
a yes or
used
no
to
question.
sit on the
Okay, there's 2 actually sit on the planning.
I think, isn't it Yvonne Atkinson? Because we were there in August, and we saw that she was on there, right?
It's
And
to do
Rob
with the
Harding?
planning officers.
Right?
So it's to do with the planning officers. So
Yeah.
I don't think it would have gone to planning, as in the planning meeting, because there's rules and regs. Apparently, the 25-year doesn't actually apply to them for whatever reason. But all I'm saying is common sense here, guys. It's just a wooden structure.
I think somebody needs to give their head a wobble.
Well, needs to get a life, I was going to say.
Well, I have to say this: the person who complained, and he said, "I'm a northerner and I never lose." All right, so it's a good battle.
Yeah. Hey, Neil, let's move on to your the rest of your sort of local issues concerning the residents. You have a few things. Myrtle Close.
Yeah, so
you've got the list, right?
Tomorrow I'm meeting Roger. Roger's to do with highways. We're meeting actually at the Chatterbox. I've managed to blag him with a free cake in there. But there's loads of issues around Alphington and Carrick area, which we're going to travel around and discuss. For example, Myrtle Close, a lady has approached me. Her brother lives there. He has disability issues, and there's a lot of trip hazards outside his house and where he goes to the shop. So we're going to assess that and try and push that to be corrected. Bennett Square, they've got parking issues there. So we're looking at Bennett Square. There's a few other places outside the shop. They're talking about yellow lines. Well, we can't put yellow lines there, but some of the area we can put I'm going to talk to Roger about putting, the lines where they can't park at all on double lines if you've got a handicap badge, disability badge, should I say?
Yeah, it's the lines up the curb rather than
So we're
road.
going to try and resolve that. There's a lot going on around that area, and you have to appreciate I don't put this out in the public domain all the time. There's fences are being cut or hedges are being cut, and Devon County Council are actually working well with me right now, and I have to take my hat off to Roger Highways. It's a good relationship. He's there to support everybody in this area, and he's also to deal with Tony. So I'll pass you over to Tony as well now about what he's been up to.
Always exciting. One of the things I have been involved in is I've actually got hold of the community payback scheme, and it's been agreed that hopefully in about 2 weeks' time, the first road in my area, Buller Road, they will use these people.
Can you just explain the community payback?
The community payback is essentially people who are doing community service. It's of no cost to Devon County Council, but they essentially do weed clearance and remove clear alleyways and stuff like that. And one of the things I looked at is Buller Road, which is overgrown, let's be honest. I know the local Labour councillor sort of did a fantastic picture of her doing her bit. Well, I want the whole road clear because I do want St Thomas. I want people to be proud that they live in it. So that's one of the things. Cleveland Street, we're trying to get the parking restrictions lifted because of the road works, unfortunately, going on all around St Thomas. such as the water pipe replacement and the gas pipe replacement. So, you know, tickets are being issued there. So hopefully we're on that case as well. Plus, like I said, other things, getting grants. I've managed to get certain amounts of grants for certain organisations, and also my locality grant. There's something I want to get out on this, which is really annoying me. I can go on the Exwick Facebook page because as a county councillor, I need to know what's going on to give money away. I am banned from the St Thomas community Facebook page because apparently it's a political thing. Look, you know, I'm a county councillor.
Because you belong to a political party.
I belong to a political party, and I hope it's the same for everyone. St Thomas, you are losing out. You know, I've virtually given away a lot of the money now because I've given it away to things that I know that are going on, but I really am struggling in St Thomas. I really am.
But can't residents still email you or call you,
They could email me, but, you know, I'm being kept out of the loop on a lot of things. For whatever reason, I don't know. You know, people approach me and say, look, you know, you could have given to this, you could have given to that. I can't give to stuff. You have to approach me through Devon County Council, but if I don't know about it, you're not going to get it. It's as simple as that. It will go to whoever I have to get rid of it. That's the simple truth. You know,
Okay,
and if
well,
anyone who's in charge of that Facebook page is listening or gets the message, it really does annoy me, this. I don't care that I'm reform. I'm also the county councillor. I've got the money. You want it. Get hold of me. All
Okay,
right? Do
Tony,
not
just
blank me.
remember that Facebook is not the be and end all.
It's not.
Only about 3% of the residents actually, look at Facebook anyway.
Yeah, true.
No, but there are
but that's what
2,500
it is.
people
Don't let
on
it
this
get
page.
uptight. Jax, what do you think about
Tony, going back to what you said about the community payback, I'm really interested in that because is it, maybe we can talk further another time, is it something that anybody can get involved with?
Well, I mean, it's took me quite a while to sort of work my way to where I am now. So I actually saw them operating behind one of our areas, doing a brilliant job cleaning up one of the alleyways. I approached one of the foremen. He gave me a name to approach. So from that name, I've got the email addresses of all the foremen. And
so is this at the prisons or?
It's a community payback. So essentially they're doing community service.
I
Right,
think it's
okay.
running
So it's through
between
the courts.
probation.
Yeah, it's through the probation services.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so that
So
will be open to any councillor.
It's open to any, but yours would be different from mine, different area, I
Different
suspect.
area, yeah.
So
yeah.
in Newton Abbot, you would probably have your own probation services, find out where they are,
Yeah.
and go by that.
I have actually spoken to probation because there's a big problem with, and this is slightly going off topic, guys, so I do apologise. There's a big problem with, obviously, as you know, homelessness. And one of that is connected with people that have served their time in prison and they've come out and they're not on tag anymore and they've been released, they've done their time. And if they haven't got anywhere to go, they are then homeless. And it's a big issue. So that's something else that I'm looking into at the moment.
Okay, fantastic. Tony, I think you hogged up most of the show already.
I'm sorry
All
about
the
that,
stuff
Rob,
you've
but
been
it is
doing, right?
really annoying
Okay.
sometimes.
But let's just touch on a couple things that Jack's interested in. Jack's, now you mentioned to me before the show that you had some interesting comments to make about the flying of the flags. What was that? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, well, there's been a bit of an issue locally with people flying the flags on lampposts, and I got involved. Obviously, our job as county councillors is to listen to and represent our constituents, and people are asking me, why are these people feel the need to put their flags up? Well, it's quite simple. People are coming to me and saying that they need to be heard. They don't want to go on protests. This is not some far-right group of people. This is normal people like you and me, and they just want the government to put them first. The country and local people in my area are fed up of not being able to put food on the table. So they are trying to unite. That is what our flag is. It's to unite people, and they feel that putting their flags up is uniting people. It's standing up and saying, we want you to listen to us. Unfortunately, the government still aren't listening.
Neil, what do you have to say about that?
It's a very touchy subject, and I know Jacqueline has had some really bad emails regarding this. You had a phone-in conversation with, which station was it?
It was BBC Devon.
I would say they hogged you, they ambushed you, really, didn't they?
Yeah, they were pretty. The interviewer was pretty negative. He was pretty left, to be quite honest. So he was.
Was he BBC?
Quite rude. He was BBC. Yeah.
Okay, we can't say no more than that.
No.
But you learnt on that. So I actually listened to the interview. You came out fighting. You lost the middle round, but I thought you won the last round. So I'll give you a clap for that, because
I
guys,
never won that.
it's easy for you guys to sit behind a computer slating us and all that. Well, if you want to join the team to help us to do good for the community, come and do it. But don't slag us off. All right?
Neil, I don't know of anybody that is. Everybody's applauding the work that you and Tony and Jax are doing. Okay?
Well, it's just
chill out.
individuals.
Huh?
I think it's individuals.
It's just individuals you don't realise. But going back to the flag, you asked me
You need
a
to get a
question.
life, really.
Go ahead, sir.
You asked me a question. Okay. The graffiti has to stop, all right, because we actually promote about getting rid of graffiti, and this just makes my life a bit harder, and Tony's a bit harder, and Jacqueline's a bit harder. All right, the flag, the Union Jack, I'm very proud of the flag, and, you know, the George Cross, it is associated, and it gives the lefties and the communists and the socialists more ammunition against
Don't forget
us.
the Green Party.
And the Green Party. You know, I'm proud of that Union Jack, and if I could see it flying everywhere, I'm happy. Right, but what I don't want is anybody getting hurt. So some of the videos which I've seen, and speaking to the head of Devon County Council, they've seen some very brave,
some dubious ladders
on top of vans,
on top of ladders. Yeah,
you know, and you know, at the end of the day, do it at the right time, do it with safety, and respect that flag, and make sure you fly it the right way. By the way,
I mean, I've got to say, by the way, I mean, after seeing the flags at the swing bridge, it brings a smile to my face.
They put
to
them
see
back
them
now,
all.
haven't they?
They've probably gone back again, yeah.
Yeah, so
but
I know
it
they
brings
got
a
taken
smile
down.
to your
You know they
face
got
just
taken
going
down,
along and seeing
Jacqueline.
them.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Well, I think we need more flagpoles.
So, yeah, definitely.
Never have enough.
So many people have said, you know, I've had emails, I've had phone calls where people say they drive through the village and they see all the flags, and they do feel united.
But people feel intimidated, I've been told.
Look,
you had that letter from an individual, we which won't mention names, and it called it like marking lampposts.
Yeah, I had well, we've all had an email from somebody who said that the people that are putting up the flags, it's like dogs marking their territory up lampposts. Do you know what?
But we don't want to intimidate people, do we?
No, but
So what's the answer? More flagposts?
Yeah, definitely. Look, if people come to this country and we are happy to take them in, then they want to come here, they want to embrace our flag, embrace our culture. That is great. That is fine. You know, I'm more than happy for that. I've got friends. I visit a care home every 2 days. Most of the care staff are come here on visas to work, and they have become friends. Over the last few years, they have become friends. I have spoken to most of those care staff, and they have said that they're not intimidated by the flag. They feel honoured that they can come here, and they love it, and they love our culture.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Jax. Well said. Okay, hey, are we ready to move on to our next topic here?
We were only going to briefly
what do you
do
think,
the flags,
huh?
but you're very
Well,
passionate.
Sorry, yes, very
No.
passionate.
What's our next topic there, guys?
Pavement vegetation motion.
Okay. Hey, I noticed some vegetation above your mouths there. What's going on with that?
Well, do you want to talk about that, Neil, or do you want me to?
Okay. So years ago, I used to have a moustache for many, many years. And I went to America once, and the customs officer looked at me like a little bit peculiar. And he said, "Do you belong to the YMCA?" And I didn't quite understand what he meant. But anyway, irrespective, I removed the moustache. But Movember, 4 of us
No,
are going to...
November. What are you talking
No,
about?
Movember.
Movember, where we grow the moustache.
Don't you know
Moustaches, don't you know? Movember.
Yeah.
That's what it's
I mean,
called.
Jacqueline, you can't
Look, I'm
grow
not
a
getting involved in this at all. You know,
So I'm debating whether to keep the moustache afterwards, but that depends on the wife. But basically, we're going to grow it to the end, and then we'll ask everybody to judge. Right now, my son-in-law, my future son-in-law, is winning, but he's got darker hair.
Dark hair is
But
a bit of
I
a
think
cheat.
I'll come back on it with the style and all that.
But
and
do mention, Neil,
we're
that-
all
no, add in the just for men.
Yeah, well, no, we don't know. But what's happening is, like I said, at the end of the day, we're all donating £50 towards...
£200.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'd be £200 towards men's mental health.
Anyway, thanks for the explanation. So should we move on?
Well, you
Neil,
could
now
say
to
it's an
the,
eyebrow come down for
the
a drink,
real
but-
vegetation that you want to talk about, right?
Guys, just before you add on to that, when you're talking about guys' mental health, the government have just introduced something for men's mental health. Now, the government are actually creating issues for men to create mental health with the amount of issues there are that we're having to deal with.
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, good. Yeah. Well, I think we've all got mental health with what the government are issuing.
Well,
right
I
now.
think you've got to be
And
mental to do this
wait to the
job.
budget. I think all of us will have a bloody breakdown.
Well, it's very challenging to make money on this in this country, and you know,
Well,
you've
What I've
raised a
always
family
said
with
is
kids.
easier
Right.
to spend other people's money.
Okay, let's move on. Okay, we got a great show to do here. Let's see. I'll flash that slide up there for you, Neil. Okay.
Okay, pavement vegetation motion. This is a little dig at the keyboard warriors. It's not just about helping individuals out. It's about looking at the future. All right. 3 motions which never went to the last full council because they were more talking about other rubbish than getting the motions put forward. One of my motions which I'd like to do is to allow the council to speed up the motions in order to get the motions passed. But there's 3 motions. One was vegetation, finding money from Devon County Council to Exeter City Council. Tony will talk about the other motions in a minute. So it's gone to Cabinet because of the delay. It then goes to Cabinet and they will decide whether we bring it up to the next full council.
Neil, excuse me. Would you mind? Are you discussing this basically the slide that we're showing the audience?
Okay.
Is that what you're doing?
Well, I was going to go for it. What do you want me to do?
Okay. Yeah. Do what you want to do, sir.
Okay, so I went to a cabinet meeting the other day. My motion was to do with audit, funding, and the safety of people. What they've done, which I did tell them, they've watered it right down, and that's not taking the mickey there, watering, but they've added a watering can to it, and basically there's no audit. And what I mean by an audit, in January, we put it to the audit committee to look at where they can find money from somewhere in order to fund the money to get rid of these weeds, because in the future the damage it's going to cause it will bite us. But instead there's no funding. Okay, they're basically sending it back where they can get the payback schemes to do it, and they want people in the local community to get involved. Yes,
Neil, well, two points on that. First of all, I mentioned to you during the week, Neil and I meet at 6:30 almost every morning. It's crazy. But anyway, they had the money years ago before they banned glyphosate, so they should be able to go to that magic money tree and get and restore the money that they had before. We're not asking for new money. Weeds and the eradication of weeds, right, Jax, are part of the basic services, right? What do you have to say about
it threw a spanner in the works the other day, Jacqueline. I haven't told you. So we were at the meeting, and they've added a 4th one where they're going to discuss it. But then one of the officers said, well, we do have a bit, and I used the word bit, of funding towards the weeds. Well, that's the first time I've heard about the bit of money. So what's happened to the bit of money? Do they give it? So I'm going to follow that up through, because what will happen is the weeds will die off in the winter, right? But they will come back with vengeance in the summer. And the pavements, the tarmac, the curbs. And to the biking, James, I want to get hold of you, the cycling of Exeter. I'm going to get hold of you, invite you onto the show. All I can see is these weeds will grow. Somebody will go around the weed and somebody will get hurt, either on a cycle, motorbike, wheelchair, pram. These weeds, it's a disgrace. The city is
well,
disgrace.
Neil, maybe another thought to this one, which is I've gotten in conversation with other people whenever weeds come up in the discussion. They always, or at least many of them, say, "Hey, Rob, I think you were in the military, right? Didn't you shine your shoes?" I said, "Yeah." Well, he said, it's the same thing with where we live in Exeter. Is if you shine your shoes, if you take care of the graffiti, if you take care of the weeds, then it makes people feel a lot better about how they feel about the community and that their money is going for a good cause. But if they find out that there are people invading our country and weeds and graffiti are all over the place, you know what? They're not happy about that.
Yeah,
What do you
they've
think,
got nothing
Jax?
to be proud of.
Well,
Yeah.
if you drive around the whole of Devon, it's not just Exeter. I don't know what your area is like. Newton Abbot, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's your area like for weeds?
We're reasonably lucky with Newton Abbot Town Council. They have a group that's really, really proactive with the weeds in that area. Our biggest issue is the buddleia, to be fair. Buddleia can grow so fast and grows into these massive, great big trees. And they just come out everywhere. They're coming out in the pathways. It's splitting up the concrete and the roadway. And then it's going to cost us more money with the roads. So,
Jax, I can add to that, okay? I mean,
Weed and fox.
well,
Read the box. You
yeah,
can have
I mean,
another one.
if you go on to some of the websites that Green Party promote and Labor Party, you can see that they love buddleia, okay? And I love buddleia, but I don't like it, just right at Alphington Road.
oh yeah,
really.
it's great for the butterflies, but
Well, you wait till it gets into the actual cement.
there's the right places for things.
Goes down too far.
So
goes into
going
the
back
drainage
to
system.
going back
Yeah.
to the motion, and this is quite passionate. When I first started as being a councillor, everybody wrote about the weeds. Okay, we have a few councillors going off and doing little weeding issues. We're not talking about this. We're talking about money to get rid of the weeds to make this city and Devon look tidy. So going back to the Lib Dems, you can water it down as much as you like. You can do whatever, but it's all to do with funding. I understand we've got to find the money from somewhere, right? There is ideas I could come up with, but that would affect other people. I always upset people all the time.
How about we stop wasting it on talking about swift boxes and the rights of rivers?
Yeah, but that's not losing money. I agree with what you're saying there, but we need to be looking at all these taxi people,
Well, I mean, this is one thing that does get my goat. We should be running our own transport system,
Definitely.
not paying taxi companies who've got a monopoly.
Yeah, but it also, as an ex-army, and you're ex-army, Jacqueline, when you have a service, you have vehicles, they all got to be serviced, they all got to be maintained, it's all to do with safety. When I went down to Stagecoach the other day, Rob, very interesting, they have about 6, 7, 8 buses a day off the road because it's got to be serviced every 21 days, if I'm correct. Right, and guys, Stagecoach, give them a chance, the road works, the water, the gas, it's going to be an issue.
Well, Neil, people should be encouraged to, I hope you're encouraging people to send you any problems or emailing you any problems for Stagecoach, right?
Yeah, I get problems every day like you do, Jacqueline, and I reply them privately. I don't put it on my Facebook page or whatever. I'm not used to this Facebook. And my wife, actually, I have to tell you something. Last night, she said, Neil, we were in bed chatting away.
Okay, let's pause it.
Yeah,
hey,
we're
Neil.
getting
it
way
was
too
quite
intimate
late.
now.
Hey, Neil.
And
Go
no,
ahead.
I was quite concerned about some of these nasty comments. And she said, Neil, you're not used to this, are you? And I went to bed and I thought, no, I'm not a nasty person. No, I don't write nasty things. But I'd rather, if you want to write something nasty, don't write something. Come to me house, come and speak to me properly, and I'm happy to sit down here.
Okay, thank you, Neil.
I think we should
I
get
do
on.
go
move
off
on.
tangents, Jacqueline.
I'm sorry I got you on the weed issue and vegetation and
So
thank
the
you
end
for
of the
that.
story
Okay.
is the motion is being brought forward again on the next full council meeting with other motions, Tony.
All right, yeah. One of the ones is close to my heart, which is the ADHD. So one of the motions is essentially to speed up the diagnosis of ADHD and make it quicker, be it through the private sector or the public, because through the private sector, it doesn't seem to be accepted. So for me, like I said, one of my children was diagnosed early with ADHD, and I do thank my wife for that, who really pushed it through. But it is a problem now, and it does affect a lot of school kids. But what a difference it made to one of my children once he was diagnosed.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom.
Right, we need to now move on to the meat.
Thanks very much. Guys, give us an update on the LGR, what does that stand for anyway?
Do you want to go for that one?
No, Tony, you do it, because
I'll start
dominate.
it off then.
Jacqueline, you're going to come in on this.
You're going to come in
right?
on this one. Surprisingly enough, it's called...
But it's an important issue, isn't it, Tony?
Yeah, local government reorganisation. So in Devon alone, there are three projects being pooled. So Exeter City is sort of doing what I would technically call a land grab.
It's not just Exeter.
Exeter's one of them, and Torquay and
Plymouth.
Devon County Council, they're doing one as well, a plan, and I think the local parishes are doing a plan as well. So essentially, it's taking control of a certain part of the budget in Devon or Exeter or whichever, so that they'd be sort of running it like Plymouth do.
Right, I'm going to add a bit more of that. Local government reorganisation is set by Labour, who have asked Devon County Council to come up with a restructuring. So they're going to restructure the whole of Devon. Right, this is a smokescreen. Right, at the end of the day, the decision is set by the government. So it doesn't matter what you come up with or Devon County Council. It doesn't matter about what you write into. The government will decide. I call that communism, socialism in my eyes. All right, I don't care what you say. So far, 200K on staff costs so far to put this paperwork together. They've worked really hard, by the way, so I'm not looking at the Devon County Council on that. But what does it do? It creates division. It creates division between different councils. Why does it create division? Jacqueline?
Oh, do you know what? This is a real bugbear. At the end of the day, as you said, the government, it doesn't matter. It's a waste of 200 grand in those staff fees, because the government are going to decide
anyway.
That is at this moment,
and it may not take place at the end of it.
Let's make sure that any listeners realise that that's not councillors getting that money. It's not councillors' costs. It's the staff.
Officers.
It's the officers. That's their wages for preparing all this.
And of course, remember, they're pulled away from other work.
I'm going to interrupt you here. It's a smokescreen. It is a smokescreen. And the biggest thing, the division, right? Because Exeter City Council, Plymouth and all that, they want to keep their jobs. Devon want to keep their job. Everyone wants to keep. So they're all fighting to keep their jobs. So it's exactly what the government want. Division, right? And
what's going to happen is the people in the countryside are going to lose out
if we allow this to happen. That's why
they'll lose out big time, won't they? Because they'll be forgotten about.
You can call it whatever you like. I just think it's a load of rubbish. There's no money going to be saved. We're going to be no different. The debt, which Lib Dem said they didn't
doesn't
have,
disappear.
Now the Lib Dem actually 2007, I think, took on all these loans, right? But that doesn't disappear. You can't write it off. You don't go to the bank and lend a load of money and get written off. You just don't, right? So the LGR guys, you need to look into it. You need to do your homework. You need to write against it, right? The system we run right now isn't perfect. It isn't perfect. It is broken, but we can fix it. And let's not waste time and money on something. Let's work together. Go on, Rob. You're telling me to be quiet.
Oh no, I never
Making
do.
Those
actually,
noises
I get carried away.
No,
Jacqueline,
well, your passion means you want to make a difference, right, Neil?
Well, not to some of them keyboard warriors, but anyway, that's my dig.
Yeah, thanks very much. So,
another little dig as well.
What, you dig at me?
No, Mr. Hill.
Who's that?
Mr. Hill.
The man
we can't talk about.
We're not supposed to
I will
talk
talk about
that man.
BBC got done for splitting Trump's things together.
Oh yeah.
When you put something or allow somebody to put edited stuff onto your Facebook page, all right, that's not professional, guy. And I've always said I will not say anything about you. But screw the nut guy.
Okay,
allowed to
fantastic.
say that,
I don't know what that means, but anyway, I'm happy.
He does because he's supposed to be military.
I'm happy.
Code
Screw
of
the nut.
conduct.
Okay. Anyway, fortunately, 99% of the people don't know who Echo Hotel is.
That's a
anyway,
good one
Neil.
to put it,
You know,
isn't it?
The man who just exists in the Ethernet. He's no more the man that man we're not supposed to talk about anyway. So I'm going to chastise.
Move it along.
So okay, we're going to focus
Expect
on a couple
comments
of
later
national
on from him.
issues, right? A couple of
Yep.
national issues.
Yeah.
One of which is immigration, right?
We're only 2 minutes
What do you
behind
think?
schedule, Rob. Yeah, immigration.
Who's gonna kick
Jacqueline,
it
I'm going to
off?
bring you on this because I don't want to hog it.
Oh, God, look. I will not be intimidated or be told that I'm a racist just because I want my country safe. I've said this before, I'm representing my constituents, people that want to feel safe. We want the government to start putting us first. And I think there's so many issues around that we could talk about, how can... And this kind of relates to the flags as well. We need to build up on our forces for protection, and we're showing our forces that we don't really care. We're not really proud of our flags. We're not going to put them up. We're not going to get more people to join the army when they're hearing that they're going to in 50 years' time maybe brought in front of a court for something they were told to do and ordered to do. So,
You
we
bring
need
me,
to...
yeah, but you bring me on to funding. So we have the budget next week. It'd be interesting to see what. Yes, Rob.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say we've got a caller that wanted to add
good.
to
Then
that a
bring it
little
on.
bit.
Yeah, bring it on.
Maybe the caller can.
Not gonna
share
swear,
some
is
light
he?
on it, right? Well, it could be a they or she, right?
All right.
I don't really know, Tony. But go ahead, bring the caller on if you don't mind.
Well, we're working on the caller. While they're working on the caller, right, let's look at the Labour 20-year plan. Right, so what they're saying is...
Hello, caller.
Oh, got it.
I think we got somebody online here. What's your name?
Yes, hello. Just wanted to know what support would you offer to university students, being a really big population in Exeter of students?
Oh, thanks very much. Who wants to go for that?
Yeah, so when you say support, what type of support are we talking about? We're talking about what type of support?
Housing, financially, the fees are going up. Some students are struggling to make ends meet.
Yeah, no, that's interesting because I've noticed that there's more buildings being built, right, or more structures being built with accommodation for students. So these people have the monopoly. Once you lot take over a building, the rent is controlled by these individuals. And what you're saying is the universities are putting the fees up. I would actually blanket all that. I would put a fixed fee personally. And I think if you're going to help the country in the future, right, you should not be penalised regarding paying all this money back. My daughter has to pay back now a considerable amount every month out of her money. So I think in Scotland, if I'm correct,
I think Scotland's actually free.
Yeah, Scotland is free. So if Scotland's free, I personally think England should be free.
Okay, thank you very much, Neil, for answering that question.
Did I answer it correctly? That's the question.
Yes, thank you.
Caller, what's your name again? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I'm Jane.
Oh, Jane. Hi, Jane.
Jane, if it was free, all right, they're going to say, well, where do you get the money from? I'm sure we can find the money from somewhere. But if Scotland can get it free, you should have it free in my eyes.
Thanks
Yes.
very much, Neil.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Don't know if I answered the question, did
Let's move on, Neil, to, or at least go back to the topic we're just talking about, right?
Okay, so we're going back to the decision by, Labour's going to offer a 20-year resettlement program. So 20 years is a long time, by the way, and they can be, once their country is safe, they have to go back to their country. This is just smoke and mirrors in my eyes because for example. Oh, by the way, Afghanistan.
Yeah. Why do you mention that?
Afghanistan, we all slate the Taliban and all that, but they've actually stopped poppy fields. I've been over there when I've seen thousands and thousands of acres. I flew over the poppy fields. In fact, we gave them money to buy tractors in order to sow for whatever wheat except besides poppies. But all we ever did was enhance the poppy because they used the
that's funny.
tractors. But they've banned poppies. But on the downside of it, and I'm not going to go into things too much, it opens another market for man-made substitute. And sadly, people have died in Exeter over the 20 have died quite over this year. And Jacqueline, myself and Tony have been speaking to Steve. That's to do with Devon County Council. This to do with the homeless and do with drugs. And I think there's a lady, I can't remember her name, who works for the Green Party. She's involved. But it's interesting we'll bring that subject up next week.
Yeah,
I
let's
think.
do that. Hey,
Right.
Neil, I was just thinking we should be mindful that people from different parts of the world function in different ways. They're not lucky like we have of having a judicial system. They might, if they want to grow drugs, they grow drugs. I think what one feature of this new initiative, I guess, that Mahmoud has come up with is that she says they can they're not going to get permanent residency for 20 years. But meanwhile, they'll be in the country anyway with having kids and everything else. So how are they going to kick them out if
I
they
can't
don't?
knock Mahmoud. She's actually going.
Well, she's coming up with ideas.
But whether she's taken it off reform because reform are going ahead in the polls, and she's looking at their jobs. They're all looking at their jobs. The backbenchers are not happy because if there's an election tomorrow, most of them will lose their jobs.
Neil, if somebody should be deemed to be removed from the country, they should remove them from the country.
It was not as simple as that, is it? It's not as simple.
It should be speeded up, Rob.
Otherwise,
no,
they're just going to have a bunch of children, and then it's going to be impossible.
It's not as simple as that. So Mahmoud come up with some good ideas, okay? But ECHR, okay, Article 3 and 8, as soon as you do all that, all you're going to do is line the pockets of lawyers and barristers.
Well, the human rights lawyers.
Okay, so I'm flashing the slide back up, Neil. Did you cover everything you wanted to?
No, not
cover
really.
There? Huh?
So we've got a lot of people coming into the country. Raise the Colours, by the way, Raise the Colours too, over in France. They've reported some. What
does that mean? Raise the Colours?
Raise the Colours, the flag, but they've gone over to France and they've actually done some really good ground truth. There's boats, there's engines. They're disrupting that supply. They've found documentation in people's coats because what they do is when they run on the boat, they bin their coats, and in there is documentation. If you get a chance, look at it. It actually tells you the person, picture the person, and where France have given them authorization to stay in the country, right? And they've already got money for train fares as well because there's train tickets. But let's look at. I agree we should help people, all right. And there's some people who disagree with what I say, but why we have a housing problem? Okay, we have a medical problem. You can't get a dentist. You can't get a doctor. Jacqueline, bring me up on it. Carry on.
Oh, God. Why do other countries, and I've got a list of them, Poland, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Portugal, Belgium, Austria, all these countries are protecting their people, but we just feel that anybody and everybody can come in. It's all very well saying, yes, we've got to help people. Yes, we've got to help people. But let's be a little bit more careful about what people we're actually letting in. And let's have people come in through the right channels. We still need our borders and we need to protect our borders. This is a big thing that I hear from my constituents all the time. Why won't our government look after us? What's going to happen for my grandchildren? My children haven't got a future.
Well, the country's going downhill, and I don't care what you say, Tony.
I quite agree. It's one of the reasons why I sort of put myself up to be a county councillor, because I think of my grandchildren and what sort of life they will have. And at the moment, I don't see them having much of a life. But hopefully that will change.
Okay. Well, I was just going to say, let's try to wrap things up here. It's been a great discussion. Okay, and I think you had a few things about the community you wanted to touch on, guys. Should we talk about some of those and kick it off maybe with the Weed of the Week award? What do you think? Huh?
Yeah. So, okay, Weed of the Week. These were sent in to me by Stephen Lawrence. Then it was very good. It showed me, if you look at the pavement there on the left, you know, if you was in a wheelchair, you were push chair, you know, that's an issue. And the other one is outside my area. It's near the college, right by the church. This is growing around, and you know, we're saying this is not going to cause a problem. Just look at these weeds.
That one on the left, that's a buddleia, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
And if that's left, that's going to grow into a tree.
Yes, correct.
Now, I'm not being funny, but would it be cheaper to get rid of the weeds while they're small than wait until they're huge, and it's going to take more money and more manpower?
Well, that's my discussion. I can't use the word argument. The discussion is we need to get rid of these weeds, and the city is tired. I walked down Willie's Avenue the other day, and it's tired. The whole city's tired.
Okay, so we also have an initiative going on. Who wants to explain what
This
that
is my baby now. It's took quite a few tracking down and emails, but I finally got hold of somebody who deals with the open
these are
reach
what people have sent
graffiti
into, haven't
boxes.
they?
The boxes, sorry, with graffiti on. So these are 5 of mine that I've done.
You didn't do them.
No, I didn't do them personally, so I sound wrong. These are 5 pictures that I've taken, and what I'm doing is I've sent them off to the person concerned with what. I think Rob's just dropped down. I've sent them off with what 3 words for the locations. I'm going to do 5 at a time, and hopefully they have promised me they will take action and they will repaint them. Obviously, I can't stop ignorant people from scrawling on them again, but it's a start.
Well, isn't that art, though, Tony?
Well, I don't know. That one looks like a penis myself, if I can say that.
Well,
And I know I can say that.
I think you need to see a psychologist.
I've actually got one of these green boxes right outside my house.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I wasn't going to say I've got one of those.
Can I just say, let's go back to it. So if you don't know what 3 words, you can download what 3 words, and I send this to the Cowick and Alfredton, St Thomas, Exwick, and the whole of Exeter. If you've got a box, just send us a what 3 words. We will send it up the channel, and they will come and paint it.
Well,
we're not going to defeat.
Said they would, take action.
Well, they will do. They will do.
As long as it's an open reach box, by the way, not any
And what
box
3
you see.
words again? What does that mean?
Just type in what 3 as a number 3 words.
It's rather like a sat nav. It'll give you an exact
and
location.
what it does, it gives you 3 words, and then the Devon County Council work by this as well. You work by it, Jacqueline?
Yeah.
So, do you have an issue in your area?
Yeah, we do have a graffiti issue. We've had the whole of our high street. Somebody went along and did all of our shops, graffitied right the way along our shops. I've got a green box, not a penis. I have a green box.
I'm only saying from my point of view.
It's right outside my gateway, and it regularly gets graffitied. And this week, the lovely graffiti artists decided to also graffiti my. I've got one of those big mirrors that you can look at when you're, coming out of your driveway. And they even graffitied that for me as well. So
So if you're going to send a message to the graffiti people, what would you say?
Come and see me, darling.
Yeah.
If you want something to do, I will find you something
I
to
think
do.
my phrase would be "grow up and get a life," but I mean that's just me.
Okay,
if
fantastic.
if I'd quite encourage these artists to come and paint something decent.
Well, I don't call them artists. I call them vandals.
That is vandalism. But if they feel that they need to do something with spray, come and learn how to spray properly.
Yeah,
Instead of doing that,
Rob, I know you want to cut us off, but Exeter City Council had designated areas to do it. By the way.
Yeah. Hey, but anyway, guys, you're doing something about it, and I think this initiative is a great one. So if everybody. Feel free to email you guys with all your
so just very quickly,
locations,
what
right?
3 words for boxes and around the whole of this side of the river?
yeah, we're trying to group them together.
If you've got a road which needs doing, Tony's jumped on the Buller Road. That was his initiative. So I'm going to jump on second. And if anybody wants their road done, let me know and I'll put it up the chain. Jacqueline, I'll send you all that as well. Carry on.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
And we will be, by the way, sending it out the details to other county councillors in the Exeter region and whoever wants it, the contacts that we've made.
Brilliant. That'll
Okay,
be
Neil,
really
did
handy.
you want to, excuse me, Jack, sorry. Did you want to just close on discussing a couple other local issues?
Yeah,
The
so Alphington
drains,
Road, Labour made a big point about the drains being cleared. They're not cleared. I've spoke to quite a few people there. Tomorrow when I meet Roger, that will be one of my subjects, getting the drains cleared in Alphington. And what I mean by Alphington Road, when you drive near the pub there, people are getting splashed, and it's been going on for years. And it's an issue. All right, so that's that. What else is there? Have you got any updates?
Oh, I've got some major issues with roadworks with the A382 and the A383. I tried to challenge highways with regard to let's get one road finished before you start on the other one, because the other one is actually part of the diversion route. Also on the same road, there's been a speed camera which is causing quite a stir at the moment. So yeah, I'm pretty busy. But if anybody in Newton Abbot North has got any concerns, please email me. I'm there to listen to your concerns and to try and act on them for you.
Thank you very much. Hey, should we? You gave me this great video, Neil, to play.
That video I'm going to play for the next month.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's
it
great.
says a lot.
Well, let's put it up, shall we?
I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones of all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now. What we fought for was our freedom. We find that even now it's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
Hey, Neil, close us out here, please.
Yeah, that really got to me because I've worked in some really nasty areas and I've lost friends and I've...
Our message is...
And thanks. The message is, guys, all the keyboard warriors, if you can stand there and say you've done something for this country, then you can hold your head up high. But if you haven't done nothing to support this country, then don't bother, right? You can be left-wing, you can be commie, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you are. We're here to make this country great. And we've lost the word great. We used to be Great Britain. We don't use the word Great Britain anymore. Jacqueline, we've invited you on this show. Would you come again?
I would. Thank you very much for the invite. It's been very entertaining.
Right,
Well, thank you
going
very
back
much.
to Rob, and we're down to a few seconds.
Hopefully next time there'll be 4 county councils.
Yeah, let's get Great Britain back in. All right,
Put the
We
great
are
back
Great
into Britain.
Rob,
Hey, guys, thanks for being with us tonight. And Jax, thanks again for being with us.
Thank you.
Great discussions, guys. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place. And don't forget to buy your Weetabix box so you can get some free grass seed and weed seed, okay? Thanks very much.
Respect the place that you call home.